Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and this is the MonsterArts Red-Eyes Black Dragon. Kinda late to the party on this one because at the time of its release, I didn't have the money nor the space. Now I just don't have the space. In fact, after I'm done with this video, I'm putting them back into the box, putting them into the basement for now because this is my shelf for my Yu-Gi-Oh figures, and as you can tell, it's pretty crowded up there. But I want to get these while I still can, so when I do have space, I don't have to pay, double the price or whatever it goes up in value later. In fact, I'm so excited for these figures that the next one we're going to be doing is the MonsterArts Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. And then when Dark Magician, Stardust Dragon, and whenever the Figuarts Yugi comes out, I'll be getting all of those, and I'll be doing videos on all of those. So if you're into Yu-Gi-Oh figures, make sure you sub, because I'm covering all of that. So let's get into the box design right here. So we got a big, nice printing of Red-Eyes Black Dragon right there, with all these little stamps all over the place, making sure that it's a legit figure as well. And then you have the nice motif in the background of the ancient Egyptian scripts of Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's red because it's Red-Eyes Black Dragon. Then the sides have the same design on both sides. The top has a little bit of window peeking for the light, so when you look at it in the store, you get to see a little bit more. And then the bottom shows a different pose for Red-Eyes as well. I like how the front is Japanese, but the top and bottom, they say Red-Eyes Black Dragon, all in English. Then the back, we get to see a cracked window display, so you can see what Red-Eyes looks like himself, a couple of different poses and all that stuff. And when it comes to the accessories, you get a stand, as well as his little Inferno Fire Blast, or whatever it's called. I loved Blue Eyes when that came out, because Blue Eyes is my main monster personally, but Red Eyes, I feel like, is necessary if you're gonna have a figure collection of Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, so I was very excited to get this. So without further ado, let's open them up. I learned how fragile the Blue Eyes White Dragon is because he accidentally fell off the shelf the one day, so be careful. Then we are gonna open up this flap, but before I do, my cat wants at the window. One moment, please. Okay, I hope she's happy now, but let's open this up, and look at that. We got our little instruction manual, which honestly we're probably not gonna need that much, so we're gonna put that aside. As well as a nice red backdrop, as well as the base for his stand. Which, as much as I like these figures, I don't like how the stands are set up, because instead of having a peg hole on the figure itself, just for it to just float there, like their figurized model kits, instead they make it so that it has so many points of contact that it kind of kills the look of the display. So I'm not a huge fan of how these things look on a display stand, but when you have it in hand and play with it, that's pretty cool. So, here he is with all of his little plastic bits around him, so there's no paint transfer, but it's all the same color paint for the most part, so it's almost not necessary, but I appreciate the care. So, in the box, they have them all flattened out, so putting them back in the box is going to be not so fun, but thankfully he is a fully articulated action figure, so you can manipulate him any way you need to. He looks really good. And then the wings expand out. They're all on, I think they're ball hinges, so if you want to extend the way he looks without killing the look, you can absolutely do that. And then all of the articulation is pretty much hidden under these little scales. The face, on the other hand, can look all crooked. That's a little silly. With the Figuarts Blue Eyes, he had a real pearlescent look to him, while with the Red Eyes himself, it has more of a matte finish. And I mean, there's a little bit of pearlescent in there that you can see in the wings at least. But this thing looks so good. You don't really get to see the eyes all too much, but it does capture the look of the card really well. Then we got his little red fire blast effect right here that looks so good. And this has a little peg hole down there, so you can have it on the peg on the stand, so you can actually make him look like he's doing an attack. But I said earlier how he normally doesn't really come with extra hands, but in this case he kind of does. So the hands, I guess, go more out? I'm not entirely sure. I think it's mainly the thumb. The thumb is the one that goes out more. So at least there's options for that, I guess, so that's pretty neat. So just like any other Figuarts figure or any other action figure you've probably played with, you just literally just pull it out and then you can just swap it. But the grip is so tight. That scares me, actually. Let's try the other hand. Can we get you off? There we go. So yeah, it's a little mushroom peg right there. Okay, so at least it stays in there. But it's hard to tell which one is left and right. Does it really matter, to be honest? I don't think it really does. So I guess we're just gonna put this one on. There we go. And it's got a nice satisfying click when you do that, but those are the comparisons with the hands when it comes to their aesthetic. On paper it looks kind of minimalistic, but I feel like depending on the photography it might be pretty necessary. But I'm gonna swap those hands back real quick. And let's move this whole display or all the accessories and stuff down off the little table for now, and let's get a closer look at this. So here he is on the turntable, and as you can tell, the attention to detail is absolutely beautiful. Like, since the figure is mostly all just sculpted in black, like, it's pretty hard to screw up the look of it. The only real paint application is probably just the eyes themselves, to be honest. The knee joint right here is, like, the only thing that, like, kind of breaks the aesthetic. And even then, like, it's not that bad. Like, everything else just looks solid. I love how well all the joints are hidden as well. Like, they did such a good job bringing this monster to life. This looks so good. I love this. Oh man, this is so wicked. When it comes to standing him up by himself, though, good luck. He's definitely gonna need a stand, because I can get Blue Eyes to stand up only because his wings are like kind of hanging down, because I'm trying to replicate the SDK art. But with Red Eyes, it would look really off to have his wings like down, you know? So I prefer them being out and like ready to attack. So before we compare it to the other figures, let's take a look at him compared to the cards art, because I still have those. And oh, I almost had it to stand up by himself. But it's not really optimal to do that anyway. Is that a hinge? Is that for his front toes? I can't tell if you can move these by themselves or not. Oh, you can. Oh goodness. This one's tough though. This one is kind of stuck. There we go. Like, the fact that you can move his little, whatever you want to call that little talon thing, I don't know. And again, it doesn't really kill the aesthetic either. Like, you can tell there is a hinge there, but like, it doesn't make the figure look ugly. Like, the MonsterArts figures look so good. And I'm really happy that they're killing it with the Yu-Gi-Oh line, because I saw one MonsterArts from the Monster Hunter line, and that thing just fell apart no matter what you did with it, and then also broke. So it's tough to recommend those. But this guy, I like the way he looks. So I would absolutely not recommend putting him like on his feet because of these little talons down here. He's definitely one figure you do want to like keep on a base to like have him standing. Look at that pose. Doesn't he look so menacing? This looks so good. So I guess we'll put him down gently and then pull out some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Now let me know in the comments, if they made a Joey figure, what version of Joey do you want them to do? Do you want them to do the Duelist Kingdom outfit with his green jacket, or do you want them to do it with the Battle City art where it shows that blue and white shirt? I'm not entirely sure, because having him without a dual disc feels so, like, I don't know, against a Yu-Gi-Oh action figure. But the green look is so iconic. Why can't we just get both? But anyway, let's take a look at a Red-Eyes Black Dragon card. I don't remember where I have those, because right now I have it organized by duelist. So I think it's Yugi, then Kaiba, and then we get to Joey. So here's two arts that we can show off right here. This is the one that everybody loves. This is the SDJ art. And even then, you can't even see like his bottom claws on his feet nor his hands. So it's crazy how, like, even though like this is the most iconic art, it is missing some features. Very interesting. But then when we get to this art where he looks more red, then you see those details, at least in his hands. But the feet, you still can see, thankfully. And I know there's more arts of Red-Eyes Black Dragon, but I don't think I have them. Oh, I do! I do have the gold rare Red Eyes. This looks so good. I love this. And then we do have this one where it has a black background versus the green one. I think the green one you would see pretty commonly in like structure decks, while this is part of the Legendary Collection art. But that's all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I want to compare it to. So he looks good. He looks really good. I thought I had a card of the Red-Eyes Black Dragon attack. I guess I don't have that. I'm pretty sure it's in a binder or a tin somewhere. I'll add it to the collection later. But anyway, back to the figure. So this looks so good. I love this. But how does it look compared to other figures? Let's find out. First, we're going to compare it to the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Well, the Blue Eyes White Dragon has a lot more of a glossy finish, and you can see like the pearlescent paint on it, and it looks really good. The Red Eyes mostly looks all matte finished, and there's a very tiny bit of pearlescent paint from what I can see on the wings, but everything else just looks straight and matte. So there's no real shading or anything necessarily done. Like, it's mostly just molded plastic and then just a little bit of paint for his eyes. So these two are going to look fantastic battling each other. I just wish I had the space for that. And it's crazy how with the Blue Eyes figure, you can't move his lower talons, while with the Red Eyes, you can. That is so interesting. This is so cool. I love this. But at least Blue Eyes can mostly stand up by himself. So that's more than what Red Eyes can say. So, poor guy. But then we have him next to a duelist. So we have him next to the Figma Yugi, which is honestly my favorite one in the whole line of Yu-Gi-Oh action figures. So when it comes to scaling, I'm not sure how accurate that is, but that does look pretty cool, doesn't it? But the one thing I hate about the Figma Yugi is he loses his cards so easily, and it's so tiny. And it's so easy to lose. So the Red-Eyes Black Dragon figure, it is pretty cool looking. It is a really great figure. However, since he can't stand by himself all that well, it is tough to recommend because it's going to be pretty easy to damage this guy when it comes to his little hooks down here. And without a Joey figure to go alongside him, I don't want to say it's a deal breaker, but like, it makes it tougher for me to want to display him, unless you only like the monster designs and you never really cared about the show all that much. Then more power to you. But personally, I would love to have a Red-Eyes Black Dragon action figure next to a Joey action figure. And the way the stand is set up for this guy, it definitely kills the vibe of it. There are ways to balance it on the one stand where like it goes right in between these little hooks right here. It's a little risky, but if you're going to display it, that's going to be the best way to display it aesthetically. And even then, it looks like it only locks into one place, and it still becomes very front heavy. So it's hard to balance it that way. It's tough. The Red Fire Blast is a great addition. The extra hands they didn't have to do, but I'm happy they did that. But as long as you angle the base itself well enough and you angle the figure properly, it will balance it well enough. It's not perfect, but it is good enough. So do I recommend it? Absolutely. If I were to give it a rating, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. The figure itself looks beautiful. Fire blast effect, excellent. The base could have been a lot better. Would you have sacrificed having a peg hole in the figure itself to make for a better display while it's in midair? Or do you like the figure itself looking clean? Personally, I wouldn't have mind having a peg hole on the figure if it meant for a better display on the shelf. But if you do want to grab one of these figures yourself, there will be affiliate links down below on where you can get it. They're trusted places, and it also helps me out financially as well. So I'd really appreciate it. Also, don't use Honey because then it kills the affiliate link for me. So then I can't afford these figures. But that's it for the video. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. In the description, there's going to be my social media, as well as places where you can order this guy. And I appreciate you watching the video. I love you guys to death. And I'll see you on the next one. So peace.